Okay, welcome back to the Horror Bros. We are two bros watching horror. My name is Ed,
I'm Logan.
and today we have an additional bro.
Yeah. What's up? I'm Matt. I'll be the third bro today. Long time listener, first time caller. Yeah, right.
Glad to have you on
I
the
prepared
show.
that joke.
Fellow filmmaker, writer, artist.
Jack of all trades.
Mm-hmm.
Master of none, for real.
Still better than a master of one.
That's such
That's
a mood,
what they
though.
say. That is what they say. If I
Yeah,
could get a little more mastery in something, I might start getting paid, though.
Oh no.
That'd be nice.
that would
that
be
one
nice,
paid
but
gig
then I would have
was a
to,
while ago.
like, decide on a thing, and I am incapable of deciding on a thing. So, Jack of all trades, it will be.
Well, my thing is like sound recording. But that's not my main thing. That's
What
my
is your
pay
main thing?
That's not my main thing. My main thing is directing movies, even though
No, I
my
said, what
movies
is your
never
main
come out.
thing?
Yeah, my main thing is directing. My movies just never come out of the edit, though.
Yeah, I don't even know I don't know what I'm doing at this point. Of course, the main thing is hopefully, like, writing, directing, but
My main thing is getting into the movie we watched this week.
Oh, that was a really nice segue. That was
Eh.
tasty.
in the holiday spirit for the 4th of July,
Woo.
I picked the movie Return of the Living Dead from 1985.
In the dark of the night, something strange is going on.
You see that movie, Night of the Living Dead? Sure. They ship those bodies here. Well, say hello.
The dead have risen from the grave,
Mister, there's 100 of those things out there.
How many did you say?
100. And now the question is, how do we get them back into the ground?
Bert, Frank, we have a little problem.
4 left, 10 right. It's all over everything! Stupid asshole! Watch your tongue, boy, if you like this job! Like this job! Brain!
Medical science is baffled.
And it's a puzzle, because technically, you're not alive.
Why do you eat people?
Not people, brains.
How do you kill something that's already dead?
Well, how do I know, Fred? I don't know. Let me think.
It's not a bad question, Bert. In that movie, they destroyed the brain to kill him. Is that what they did? The brains, right?
Brains! I hit the brain! Oh! Get it off! Get it off! Get it off! Get it off! Get it off!
The military is nervous.
How was your day?
Usual crap.
The police are confused.
Send more cops.
It worked in the movie! Well, it ain't working now, Brain. The movie line?
It's not a bad question, Bert. It's not a bad question, Bert. It's not a bad question, Bert.
The return of the living dead.
Great movie.
Amazing movie. Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I think zombie movies are the most influential horror movies, simply because of their scope outside of the horror genre. Zombies, everyone knows them, even the most horror-averse people. And I think a very good argument could be made that this movie, Return of the Living Dead, is the most influential zombie movie because it brought us brains. Didn't have brains before now, and now we have brains. So, it is with great reverence that we're coming in and reviewing this movie, Return of the Living Dead.
Great reverence and great partying.
Great partying.
My only question for y'all today is, do you want a party?
It's party time.
Do you want a party? Yes, I want a party.
Yes! Because
Yes!
it's party time. It's just what comes with the territory.
It's
It-
party
it-
time. Yeah. Yeah.
What's going on?
I keep cutting out. My
No.
PC keeps cutting out.
No.
No.
This is really bad.
Well, that was short-lived. I think we just lost Matt.
R.I.P. Matt. First
R.I.P.
casualty
Matt.
of technical difficulties.
I love the power of post. I just say it and magic happens.
All right, there we are. All right, gang, I'm back. Where did we leave off?
Hey, Matt. Do you like horror movies?
Oh, I sure do. I sure do.
That's a good thing. That's a very good thing.
That's pretty good considering you're
Yep.
with the Horror Bros.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
what about this movie? Like, what was your experience first watching this movie?
Well, I got a real kick out of it. I had only seen Night of the Living Dead before, and watching this was very different. Although I knew it would be because the person who suggested this movie to me was showing it after like a Giallo film. That's pronounced right? I don't want to mess up an Italian
Giallo?
pronunciation.
Wait,
Yeah, it's
was this
Giallo.
at the
Okay.
Demons and Return of the Living Dead screening?
That was my first time seeing the film.
Oh my
and
god!
this is my second time seeing the
Oh
film.
my god!
You brought me on. I'm not quite an expert. I'll do my best.
I should tell you what. Okay, so last fall,
Yeah.
my buddy Ian, who I will bring up again, he programmed a screening that was Demons and Return of the Living Dead. Demons, the also 1985. I can't remember the director's name. European Italian. It's bonkers, incredible, and of course I was rewatching Demons. Like, how could anything be better than this? And
There was
Ian's
a
like,
whole nother movie.
well, there's Return of the
Just
Living Dead.
wait.
And then we watched Return of the Living Dead, and I'm like, okay, this is actually the one thing better than Demons. It's just so good.
I see. I am totally out of my wheelhouse, which is kind of the point of the podcast. I am having a good time, though. I am having a lot of fun.
That's very good.
Yeah, at this point, I've only listened to one episode at this point.
Yeah.
And it seems like you're going to run out of found footage movies kind of quick. If that's like all you're doing.
No, actually. I have...
Bestie,
Really?
my list is like
Dozens.
5 times the length of your list of movies to pick.
No. Actually, no. You're gonna see, because I have so many. So many movies.
Okay, but like, what's the time frame? Like,
Oh, the time frame?
the time frame is like 20 years.
26 years. Yeah, I got plenty of time. You know how many movies they make a year? I don't. A
I'm
lot.
doing movies from the past like 80 years.
I guarantee you, this is a bet. I'm going to bet you money right now. I am not going to run out of found footage horror movies.
But even if you don't run out, I still have like 5 times the supply that you have. So
Well, that wasn't the bet.
No,
that
well,
wasn't
you
the
came
bet.
up with the bet. Why are you clarifying that wasn't the
my
bet?
hope
as if...
is that you grow to appreciate a wider variety of movies.
No. I'm going to branch out. Don't worry. But for the
Okay.
shtick, I am going to have so many movies. So many found footage movies.
The point
It's
is,
awesome.
this was your first time watching this movie.
Yes. Back on track. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And how did that make you feel?
I 100% agree with you. I'm glad I watched it with another person, because watching this alone, I would have been like, that's funny. And that's it. But it was awesome watching with another person.
Yeah.
I agree.
Watching found footage is like is a soul experience. I watch it with Ed, and Ed's just like, this is kind of boring, and I'm like, but with this movie, we're both having fun.
Yeah.
Well, because it's kind of like a creepypasta, you know? When you have people around you, there's someone to point out holes in the logic. You know, like, oh, that's stupid. Godzilla came out of the SNES and was scary and bad. You know? But, like, with a creepypasta, or even better, a, like, crappy YouTube essay on a creepypasta, if there's no one there around you to bring any sort of reality into it, same with, like, a found footage, you can fully lock in and you can be like, whoa,
And it can
this
feel
happened.
real.
This really happened.
Yeah,
No.
like your suspension of disbelief is like you're so much more tolerant when it's just you and the screen. But Return of the Living Dead, my first time watching this was in a dorm common room with a room full of freshman queers, and it was awesome.
No, I 100% get that.
and this was before I got into horror, so I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to watch this. And they're like, it's not that scary, you'll be fine, it's just silly. And I'm like, okay, that was pretty good.
It's really something.
There's so much.
I'm sorry, I don't have what to say. I just love it. I have specifics, but right now we're just talking about it as a whole.
When it comes to 80s horror, this is cream of the crop. Like, whether you're looking at serious or campy horror, this is up there with the best. It's up there with Reanimator, Evil Dead 2 in the campy, but I think it can also stand next to the serious ones like The Thing and The Fly. Kind of the best of what we got from the 80s.
I can agree with that.
And they both have solid fan bases like to this day.
Yeah.
Logan, do you want to start plot?
I don't think I have any notes for this movie, like physical notes.
Oh God, why? Because I have notes. I have notes for like 75% of the movie.
I have it fresh on my mind from watching it last night, but I was gonna let Ed lead.
Yeah, take point on this one.
I'm just gonna have to. I guess I'm gonna have
just
to lead
interrupt as I do.
Don't worry, I have thoughts. There's something going on up here. Hopefully,
I have one or two bouncing around.
I might have a brain cell or
Logan
something.
might have a thought in there.
Yeah.
We're not sure where it is, but we'll come across it along the way.
We'll have to wait and see.
It's currently thinking about a found footage movie, thinking about basements and stairs.
We'll find out if it's a complete thought as it comes out.
Right.
I'll find out with you guys. It's going to be a collective experience.
Kind of like the characters in this movie.
Yes.
Much like watching this movie as well.
Is there a thought? Are we going to form a thought here? Let's see and find out.
Spider might.
Little game that I like to play with horror movies is spot the brain cell. Usually there's one brain cell somewhere. The question is just who has it. Sometimes there are 0 brain cells. None whatsoever.
I like movies like that.
I think in this movie, if there's a brain cell, I think it's in the hands of either Spider or Ernie.
I want to say Spider.
I can see that.
I don't want to say Ernie.
I want to say Spider too.
I love Spider. Anyway, so we show up at the UNITA Medical Supply on July 3rd. We are introduced to Frank, Bert, and Freddy. Freddy is the new kid, and Frank is showing him the ropes at the new job. Bert is Frank's boss. Yeah, and this is where we get into one of the reasons that I love this movie is it crosses over with another one of my favorite genres, which is the workplace comedy.
Okay.
You know, like you're just showing up. It's like a new day on the
see
job, and then like, you know, the older guy's like kind of messing with you, joking around, but you're also like not sure what he's being serious about and what he's not, and you're like, should I be worried? I'm not sure.
We have split dogs, and here's a corpse. Oh, and here are more corpses.
Yeah, what's fun here, though, I think, is that it doesn't get past the orientation of the workplace comedy. Like, you know, you start with an orientation usually, and then maybe you'll go further, and like by the end of a movie that's a workplace comedy or like a show or whatever, they will like people will know what's going on. People will like be sort of integrated into the workplace, and in some ways, there's like a very like pure essence to learning a new job that this movie doesn't actually get past. So now you have someone who's only like half qualified for something else, dealing with something that doesn't actually happen at the workplace.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's like it's crossing into workplace comedy. It definitely doesn't like go fully, but it's borrowing some comedic elements from that. Anyway, so we're setting up all of Chekhov's medical supplies. Like the split dogs, cadavers, skeletons, all that jazz.
I think it's strange that throughout the movie, they set up all of these like clean skeletons with nothing. Then we see one come out of the grave that's literally just a skeleton with eyeballs. So it's shown that, oh, for some reason that has the qualifications to come back as a zombie, but none of the skeletons in the warehouse come back.
Don't think about it too much.
None of them are playing their ribs like a xylophone.
That is sad. That is
true.
sad.
There's potential there.
So you mean that this should be in a double feature with Corpse Bride?
I don't not mean that.
The first rule of this movie is don't think about it too much, especially if it's related to science, because that's not important.
Not at all.
Especially how decomposition works. Don't worry about it. We will later have a zombie that has intact hair and tits, but no flesh. Don't worry about it.
It's not important.
Gender is beyond the grave.
We don't have any reaction for that.
You need to lead us. You need to guide us.
Oh God.
We are. I was gonna say we just to segue. U.S. Army, am I right? Because 90% of the first 30 minutes is the U.S. Army. Am I right?
Typical Army fuck up.
Yep. I spent 3 years in junior ROTC Army, and I have a friend in the Navy. So, military grade is the lowest bidder. It is the worst quality. It is hilarious to bash on the Army here. I guess that was the perfect segue, because after the orientation, naturally, hey, we got like reanimated corpses in the basement. Do you want to see?
Oh wait, can we like just stick on that scene of the like, hey, did you ever see that old movie?
Night of the Living Dead?
I saw it.
I just saw it like a couple weeks ago.
I know, I listened to the episode.
You feel like you just saw it with us.
Yeah.
It's a good episode.
It was like
Yeah.
yesterday. It wasn't, but
To prep for this, I was gonna watch Night of the Living Dead and then this movie, and I got through maybe like 25 minutes of it, and then Eve, my roommate, came downstairs, and instead we put on Princess Bride and watched that in its entirety.
That's so valid.
I don't know why. I think we just did.
I feel like that might be better preparation for this movie, because
Honestly,
it is so far from Night of the Living Dead. And even like their argument that like, oh, this was based on a true story, even the story he tells does not seem to be anywhere close to what happens in Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it's like, oh, it was a movie. They
Yeah.
changed some stuff around, you know?
Yeah, I mean, very basic inspiration, but the plot is totally different than, I don't know, Army Chemicals.
And I know I was trying to tell you, Logan, like, I'm like, once you see them, you won't get them mixed up because they are so
Yeah.
tonally and stylistically different.
Absolutely.
But about the Army Chemicals, like that guy at home who has the computer in his bedroom, which was probably very far-fetched at the time. I have used 3 computers in this bedroom alone trying to get a good video feed while having my audio separate, though. So like it's not far-fetched at all. But like him, and he's like, we have to find them, and he's just saying them. He's being like really like dramatic, and then like there's no reason to be dramatic because we already know, I think, about the dead bodies in the basement, right?
Yeah.
Or has he did he kind of tease those, and then after that scene they go in?
I want to say it's actually after the title card, which is after the gas gets released.
Yes, and the title card is where the
So
gas
we
gets
already
released.
know that the gas is out and, stuff's happening.
And the gas is even after
Yeah.
the whole description of what that
Yeah.
is. So then the guy is still being like really vague
Yeah.
and dramatic.
The Easter eggs.
What if he had been talking about something completely different?
Yeah, this is actually, we were making a new drone.
What if that was just some totally other thing that the US military also lost and also needed to find, and they had to deal with the zombies
Yeah,
first?
what if we just had most of the movie like happen the exact same way, but in that sequence where they're like doing that, like, oh, I'll pass you over to this guy on the phone, actually they end up calling a totally different guy, not this guy, because we're led to believe that this guy was, handling the Easter eggs, and actually they send to a totally new character. It'd be less satisfying, but it could still, like, you could make it work perhaps.
Or it's like they're calling this number and they're like, zombies. No. I run the Let's Find Our Missing Nuke program because we
Oh
lost
my
a couple of
God.
nukes.
Oh, those landmines in South Asia that we lost.
Yeah.
Whoopsies.
And then it's like, oh, hey, that's the wrong barrel. That's a nuclear bomb. The other phone
this
number.
is the barrel of Easter eggs, not the barrel of Easter bunnies.
Wrong number.
I mean, can you imagine a B plot to this whole movie where they are also separately trying to find their lost nuke?
Yeah.
And then they're like, we found it. That's one more nuke. Let's go. And then they have to nuke the zombies, and they're like, we're right back where we started. Good work, boys.
Or the movie ends where it's not the army that nukes Louisville. It's a zombie finding the missing nuke and just pressing a button and Louisville explodes.
Or just like steps on a landmine or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're no better and no worse off than we were before.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the army.
It's the
Until
army.
2 days from now when all the zombies come back.
Yeah. I remember Frank goes, "You can fit so many dead bodies in this barrel," slaps it, and then ghost. Not ghost, gas. I miss ghosts, sorry.
I had a road trip with my mom last week, which of course leads to a lot of like varying conversations and tangents. I was trying to explain to her the idea of a horror comedy, because apparently she wasn't familiar with, the idea that a horror can also be a comedy, and I'm like, well, yeah. And I'm like trying to describe this movie of there's a sense of comedic timing in the way things happen and comedic situations, like with the rabid weasels. And something that Evil Dead 2 also has, the thing of like, oh wait, there's something in the basement? Wait, there's a guy in the basement. Ah! Just the timing, the way those beats and jokes happen. So the like, oh, this bad boy's military grade made by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Slap, immediately breaks.
Yeah.
That's comedy.
That is comedy.
No, that's really funny.
And the opening sequence, or the opening titles, play over the greatest rock synth horror soundtrack ever.
It's a bop.
Oh, you just wait until you watch Demons. Watching a Giallo movie before this movie is like Italo disco, synthesizer paradise. You're not expecting more of that from the next movie you watch. And then like this movie starts and you're like, I didn't think I was going to get more than one movie's worth of tasty licks in one night. But they kept happening.
It's a party movie.
It is.
It's made for partying, for party people.
Because it's party time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very like, do as I say, not as I do. Because it's like, all right, here's a bunch of teens partying. They're going to be way larger than life. But, hey, you crazy kiddos going to see a horror movie in the theater. Isn't it cool to hang out in the graveyard? Isn't it cool to be like insanely sexually uninhibited? Isn't it cool to wear a whole bunch of crazy outfits, none of which make anyone in your posse look the same?
It knows its audience.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It does. And it's very inviting, despite making fun of its audience.
I think it's like it's got that appeal to both like the teen generation and to kind of like a slightly older generation who like would make fun of those kids, but also those kids just still enjoy the movie. It's still so much fun, and they can make fun of those characters. But the adults can be like, "Oh, look at these reckless teens."
Mm-hmm.
We get introduced to this group of teenagers. I don't have all of their names listed out right now, and they just want to party.
And the thing is, it's like 70% of them are punks, and then the 30% I think that are friends with Freddy are like super preppy. You've got like this blonde dude
Chuck,
who just keeps on trying to hit on people, and he's wearing like a
Oh my
beige suit or something.
what a loser with the beige blazer.
And then Tina, like none of these people fit in.
She's like the basic white girl of the group who's just chill.
Yeah.
She's in the movie for like this. Her only reason to be in this movie is so she can have that scene near the end, near like the middle of the movie when she first goes to the warehouse, where she can walk all the way down that street and be like, la la la, this is a horror movie, I'm the girl, la la la, I hope nothing happens to me. Like they have to still sort of follow the traditions that have been set up in horror movies till the 80s, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot that I love about this movie, but it does have some slight problematic stereotypes with its female characters, and the black character I can't speak as much to. I know he is a little bit derivative of Ben from Night of the Living Dead, but also he's like one of my favorite characters. Tina serves as the connection between the multiple plot lines in different locations.
Yes.
Tina, who's dating Freddy, who's over at UNITA at the moment, but Tina's with her group of friends, and they're just trying to find somewhere to party. And oh, Freddy always knows a place to party, but where the hell is Freddy? He got a job. What a dick. So let's go. Oh, he gets off at 10 o'clock. Let's just go off to his workplace. Wait, it's still 2 hours till he gets off. What are we gonna do? Oh, I guess let's go frolic in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta talk about all the other punks. So there's Suicide, who has the
Oh.
coolest car ever.
And the coolest name. That's just a crazy name for a person.
Yeah, I have no idea what kind of car it is, but it's a car and it's covered in graffiti. So
Great name too for who he is.
Awesome.
He's just all black. He's bigger than all of them, so he's kind of like the jock punk in
Yeah.
a way. But he's like, yeah, I have a car. My name is Suicide. That's written on the car.
he has a very, very strong sense of morals about the character he's embodying. And like later on in the movie, he's just like, I don't do this for nothing. This is, this has meaning to me. Come on, Mom.
Nobody gets him.
Nobody understands him.
He's like, y'all just think I'm spooky.
I think it is a tragedy that Suicide was alive before Papa Roach released some singles.
R.I.P. Suicide. You would have loved Papa Roach. Just like I was thinking, I was in the car and I'm listening to My Chemical Romance thinking, R.I.P. Trash, you would have loved Dead by My Chemical Romance.
Oh my god.
Suicide also has, like, I'm not sure what subculture exactly, because this group, I think you could call them all punks, but some of them are on, like, different branches of subculture, so, like, I don't know.
They're on the fringes.
Yeah. But they have different styles, but they're all definitely the subculture, because then you have, like, I don't know, like, what's her name? The other girl. The one who says, go choke a chicken.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
I feel like, or she would almost be like a scene kid, because she's really colorful. She's got the dyed, like, mohawk.
I see that.
And then you have, Suicide's more like I guess, maybe the goth punk metal.
You know what would have unified all of these people and invited every single one of them to join? And it's, again, sad that they didn't have this. Ska.
Exactly.
Every single one of these people may be a subgenre of a different type of punk, but every single one of them is definitely a ska fan.
You know,
every single one of them looks like a ska
so I
fan.
should just write a movie that's like kind of a ripoff of this movie, but it's set in the 90s and they all just love ska.
They'd still dress the same.
Yeah. Except we would have a grunge kid in there because this group doesn't have grunge. But yeah, that would be like so much fun. We don't get movies like this anymore. Come on. It's just so sad.
Yeah, well, we don't get ska anymore either.
What is there to say about Trash?
What isn't there to say about Trash?
Exactly.
She's everything.
She is everything. She's
amazing. You know what would be a really crazy, terrible way to die? A bunch of old people.
Old men.
This would be very bad for me. I sure would hate for this to happen. Describes the whole time with a tone that kind of makes it seem like she's not super uninterested in that.
It's like, no, she's just saying that, oh, I would sure hate if this were gonna happen. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Man. I'm so out of my wheelhouse.
I would love like to pull together a Trash costume for Halloween at least 1 year.
What part of it?
That costume's nuts.
Just the whole costume.
Yeah, the costume or the lack of thereof?
The costume, the actual
the costume kind of changes. Yeah. There's a costume change.
But she's got the shorts with the skulls on the crotch and on the back. She's got like leggings, boots. She's got a vest. She's got that bright red wig. She's got the weird asymmetrical makeup. It's awesome, and she's just like so horny all the time.
The crotch skull is nuts.
Yeah, and she's just so extra 24/7. Her line readings are like, I like it. It's a statement. And like she can't do anything like a normal person. She can't even get out of a car in a normal way. She has to like get up on the windshield of the convertible and slide down crotch first. Like that's the queerest thing ever.
No, and it's like every time the camera cuts away from her, you don't see it, but she probably does a bump of cocaine to get ready for whatever she's gonna do when it comes back.
Yeah, it's great.
And then she does it.
Yeah. It's nice that also there's other characters to balance her out. Because like there are other characters I don't think that they're taking like a bump of cocaine. Because also like okay, so she's starting to do her strip dance, and then we cut to like Freddie and Frank who are like on the floor coughing and having the worst day ever.
I don't feel so good. Burn.
So her craziness is balanced out by the other ensemble characters. This is a great ensemble piece. It's
Honestly, for me, the greatest travesty in this film was Frank, like, not becoming a character.
I love him. He's one of my favorites.
He was the funniest person in a movie I've seen in a while. For the first 10 minutes. And then he just turns into...
Oh, he's still hilarious. What are you talking about?
Well, he turned into 30 minutes of crying, and then
the crying is great.
Like, disappear. He's a lack of a character. He's like a... Well, he is a corpse. He's just there, and then he kills himself. And I was just like...
He's one of my favorites. He's one of the funniest characters.
I needed his comedy for this whole film.
I enjoy the moments when this movie descends into just people screaming. It's so funny. Because Frank's going like, no! Like when Scott says, wait, you're dead! And then everybody just like starts wailing. It's hilarious. I love it.
Yeah.
Now, who in this movie do you think you would trust most to be with? Because I have an argument.
Is Spider too obvious?
Okay, Spider.
Spider or Ernie?
Yeah.
Yeah, Spider, honestly.
The brain cell.
Yeah. I don't know, though. I do think I would trust Frank. I think Frank would be second for me. Because, yeah, he kind of falls apart. But he is, like, the only one who fully understands the seriousness of the situation. I think if he hadn't gotten hit with the zombie gas, he still would have been, like, tweaking the whole time. But he would have done what was necessary. Or at least have been fodder. So, like, oh, no, we're running from zombies. Sorry, Frank. Trip him.
I couldn't do that. I could not trip Frank.
That's cruel.
I don't know if I know him long enough before he gets gassed. Because I just think of him as the person who just gets stressed out and overwhelmed and they just, like, shut down and they can't make decisions. Which is why it's great to have a character like Bert and Ernie come in, which maybe they don't make the right decision, but they still, like, can keep their cool.
Now, do you think the names of Bert and Ernie are Sesame Street references?
That's a good question.
I don't know. They never say them back to back, so I don't feel like it's a bit, but also, I mean, I think it's fun.
Bert is spelled differently.
Yeah.
And I think that slight choice and that decision to make it so different is probably a part of, like, okay, wait, these are Sesame Street names. We got to make them not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you think that Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street would do well in this situation?
Hey, Ernie, how long we been friends?
I think they would have done very well.
I don't know when the last time I saw Sesame Street was.
I think I'd watch more of them if there was also Frank. Frank to just freak out at every opportunity.
And this is where you insert Frank screaming.
Where are we in this plot? I don't remember.
Where are we? Do we even need to be somewhere in this plot?
Yeah, you might have to jump around in these recordings.
I think this is actually a pretty well-paced, tight movie. Like, as campy as it is, I think this chugs along pretty well. Even if it is slightly an idiot plot, I think it's still fairly tight.
So, gas, activate, dead body in the freezer. They go to kill it. Thoughts?
So, Reanimator.
Yeah, I don't want to, like, go too far ahead, because if you have thoughts...
Yeah. So, I just love just Frank wailing in despair. Like, it's cartoonish and great. And Freddy's like this job!
Yeah.
I love the freezer zombie.
Yeah.
Because he's screaming the whole time, too.
Yeah, like, he's screaming from inside the freezer.
So everyone, including the aggressor, is just screaming. That zombie is doing, like, a funny scream, too. He's really, really being, like, he's, like, being the funniest guy right there.
I also saw the theory that the reason why, when they open the freezer, he runs straight to Bert is because Freddy and Frank are dead. So, there's no reason to get him. Or get them. So we go straight to the living person in the room.
But also, like, Bert is standing, like, directly in front of the zombie. Like, Freddy and Frank are being, like, behind the door, and Bert is standing, like, 20 feet away, dead ahead. So, of course, he's the first person that the corpse sees when they run
Frank is
out.
still standing in front of the door. So, like, I can get missing the person that opens the door.
But, like, slightly. But it's like, well, Bert is, like, right there, so of course you're gonna run to him. Yeah. But also, he's, like, the most alive brain there. Yes, I think that also...
Yeah, no, he's the most alive person.
And I think that's a big point, is that they think. And this zombie is thinking what I pretend I'm thinking whenever I mess something up in, like, a game or whatever, which is never let them know your next move.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a strategy.
Or, go for the guy who's furthest away who doesn't have a weapon. That's also a good strategy.
And who's just standing there like a coward. Like, he just... Like, he's like, hey, you do this, you know, I'll just stand
He's
back
like,
here.
I don't know what this is, like, like, laid out on the
shelves.
The shelves. He's, like, holding onto the shelves in the background. Like there's an earthquake or something. Yeah.
I also...
And
I wanted to...
I
wanted to throw in, like... Well, I mean, I guess it's more Reanimator trivia, but, I mean, one of the great things about the special effects in this movie is that every zombie looks different. And I remembered a bit of something I learned from Stuart Gordon's commentary on the first Reanimator about, like, how he was doing research, like, he would visit mortuaries and talk to morticians, and how, like, every body would look different. Like, they could be any range of colors. So, like, this corpse in this scene is, like, yellow.
He's like a little Simpsons man.
Anyway,
where were we?
Corpses,
so
different colors.
They're like, wait, so Frank's like, oh, wait, how do we kill it? Well, what do they do in the movie? Destroy the brains.
And they take a pickaxe to his head, and then they saw it off.
Yeah, they take pickaxe to the head. It's still animated and thrashing, so, Bert decides to saw the head off.
Take off the part that's attached to something.
Yeah, so...
Well, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like the brain.
We're working with some kind of, like, Reanimator scenario of you don't need the whole body to be intact. Individual parts can be animated.
Yeah.
So the rest of the body just starts walking around, and people are still screaming, and they're like, what do we do now?
And they end up tying it up.
Putting it in plastic bags,
Oh, yes.
which has never worked. Also reminds me of Bride of Reanimator, which is the best sequel ever, but that's not important right now. We'll get to it.
Now, how many people's dormant kinks do you think that zombie getting tied up and put in a plastic bag did?
Oh,
and then,
wait,
you know,
I'm
lots
sure
of other things in this movie, too.
Chopped into bits and then put into plastic bags?
Oh, that's right.
Like...
You know, has anyone ever secretly fantasized about being tied up to a gurney after being chopped in half and then having to give an interview?
I worry for you guys. I really do.
What, have you never been on the internet ever?
I have.
The funny part is that my sense of humor, my brain is way dirtier than Logan's somehow. And I think Matt's is a little dirtier than mine, so this will be fun.
I'm the grossest guy on this podcast? No.
Well,
I'm a flavor commentator for disgusting kinks?
No.
No, that was not my
I brought
intention.
you for your educated opinions and just good taste.
I'm the one who could outdo you.
Oh, man.
What were you thinking? Educated a kid? What?
But if we both gang up on Logan and just start saying, like, just the grossest stuff, then it can be fun.
Ass.
Tits.
This is not a beat up on Logan, bros.
What kind of podcast are you guys running here?
Oh my
Ew.
gosh.
Look, it's literally a podcast about siblings, and what do siblings do except, like, make each other's lives hell?
Bro out.
The point is to expand our taste in movies. Not this much. Not what you're trying to do.
Alright.
Bestie, my last pick, we watched Videodrome, which I think was, fairly kinky, so...
That's... Oh, God.
Yeah, you just let me know when you get to Crash. You get a kick out of that.
I'm gonna go ahead and veto that 100%.
Oh, come on.
Oh, dude.
How about, I'm gonna build him up to that, like, maybe give, like, a year.
There's no building up.
Okay.
It's so far
if you're
above.
if you're going to do that to me, I'm going to pull out, like, Creep and just totally have, like, the most uncomfortable movie of all time.
Look, we both have such low bars for, okay, I'll watch it,
Yeah.
that, like, we kind of have to exploit it.
Yeah. I was wondering, like, how far do I go? Because I have some stuff.
Me too, because I think, like, my next pick, I'm gonna be nicer to you,
Oh, dang it.
but,
Well, actually, no, my next pick is not bad.
At what point is one of you going to show a movie that's just too far for the other person?
we'll see.
And like suddenly instead of this podcast being like for each other, it's like at each other. Like, hey, I love this movie and I bet you're going to hate it.
Well, I was hoping that we could kind of switch off between, like, okay, sometimes we're going to, like, show each other stuff that we would never watch on our own, but sometimes we do genuinely have, like, recommendations of something I think they'd like. So, like, this movie and Videodrome was like, hey, no, like this is me telling you need to watch these because these are good. Like, no matter what you think of them, you just need to watch them. But, like, my next pick, I was gonna, like, pick something that I'm like, okay, I think this is a little bit outside your sphere, but I think there's a lot of things here that you would enjoy.
And I just picked some of the best found footage films, in my opinion.
And then I'll go back to Evil Dead.
Oh, God. Someone save me.
He's such... Okay, also, we started a bingo board for things that happen within an episode. I don't know if we finished it. Are you gonna pull it up? Because I know I have on there, Ed mentions Evil Dead, Ed mentions, like, Twin Peaks, Logan mentions, like, Paranormal Activity, one of us doesn't trust the other's notes.
No. I mentioned the Paranormal Activity trilogy. And now I'm going to mention it. It's specifically the Paranormal Activity trilogy that I wish existed, because we didn't need all of these sequels. We need 1, 2, 3. Bam, done. Best trilogy of all time. Done. Okay? 4, enjoyable, not necessary.
Speaking of trilogies.
5, didn't even finish it. Just get rid of it. Anyway.
Speaking of trilogies, a franchise that has a really great third movie is Return of the Living Dead, because
Lord of the Rings.
That one too. Return of the Living Dead 3. I actually, like, I bought that one on Blu-ray. Not just because it has a hot goth girl, but it's actually solid. It's also directed by Brian Yuzna, who directed Bride of Reanimator and produced Reanimator. It's a lot of fun. But to get back to Return of the Living Dead. Oh yeah, Logan.
You guys remember when this podcast was about Return of the Living Dead? That was fun, wasn't it?
It seems like a distant memory to me.
Yeah. What were we doing?
Fringes of my mind.
Where were we?
Yeah. We don't really need to follow the plot.
Oh, so Logan, why can't we call the cops?
Because this is a conspiracy. We have to cover it up.
Why can't we call the army then? Their number is on the side of the canister.
Why can't we? Yeah, but we're having to. Is this like a pop quiz, man?
He's gonna go to jail.
It's gonna be embarrassing.
I'm gonna go to jail is what I'm gonna do. He says that.
Oh no, not because of that. It's because they didn't know that the when the army shipped off the stuff, and they sent it to the wrong location, as the U.S. Army does.
Typical Army fuck up.
They didn't know where they sent it to, so this guy could get in the big trouble.
I think that's the biggest idiot hole in this movie for me,
it,
because I think mostly this movie is mostly tight. The one thing of, oh, this was just a person being an idiot, is like not reporting that the stuff was sent there like 14 years ago.
Yeah.
After that point, I totally understand the fact of, like, Frank and Bert, they just want to cover their asses, and they're just, like, scared of being found out. And that's why they don't want to, like, call the cops until shit really hits the fan. But I also, like, one of the reasons that I love this gang of punks, not just because they're punk and awesome, but, like, they have a legitimate reason to not call the police, because the police hate them, because ACAB. So they're like, well, we can't go to the park because, the police kicked us out. They're going to beat us up. So they have a legitimate reason to, like, not call the police. Yeah, we called Bert.
We chalked up the corpse.
Yes.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I have a question about sort of the proceedings of this movie as well.
Okay.
So, they call the paramedics. The paramedics get eaten.
Yeah.
Send more paramedics. Those
Uh-huh.
paramedics get eaten. Cops
Yep.
come. Send more cops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After cops, then there is a nuke. Do you think there's sort of a missed opportunity
Send more nukes.
of some army guys going in, dying immediately, and send more army guys?
Absolutely.
For the sequel.
Does the sequel have send more army
I don't know. I
guys?
haven't seen 2.
Wow. You skipped straight to 3.
Well, because everyone says that 2 is bad. Like, I've only heard bad things about it, and I only heard good things about 3, so that's why I went ahead and watched 3. And honestly, 3 can stand alone. You don't even have to see this movie for 3 to make sense.
Do you do everything you're told all the time?
Yeah, come
If
on,
you-
Ed. People say the Paranormal Activity 2 and 3 are bad, and they're wrong. Absolutely wrong.
If David Cronenberg told you to jump off a bridge, would you do it?
Exactly.
You know,
That's a bad example, because he would. He would.
If David Lynch showed you a picture of a red room, would you
I would think that'd be awesome.
do something?
I'd be like, dude, that's awesome. Did you paint that?
I'm not even imagining a Lynchian red room. Like, just a normal room with,
Or
like,
is it the Cronenberg Videodrome
just red
room?
paint, like normal decor. He just like, look at this picture.
And I'm like, ooh!
If he showed you a small person, okay, look, I watched Fire Walk with Me. I have no idea what Lynch is doing.
We don't either, so I mean,
I don't think Lynch could communicate what he wanted us to do if he tried.
it's not that he can't. He just refuses to.
I definitely understood it on like an emotional level. Like, that's one of the scariest movies I've ever seen in my life.
Lynch is on that level of like the surreal of like it's not about A to B to C. Does it logically make sense? It's are you just getting the vibes and does it emotionally make sense? Is the way you have to watch it. So sometimes like you have to watch it in a slightly addled state. He's also a good solo viewing if you're just like a little addled and tired.
I wish you had told me that before the movie. I had beers in the fridge.
Did I not? Did I
Would have
not?
rocked. That would have been amazing.
I remember that I was like being
You
hit.
said that you get tired all the time, but you've told me that all
Well,
the time.
yeah,
so.
I remember that time we watched it, I was getting hit with the gabapentin, and I'm like, this is perfect. That was not Logan's experience, unfortunately. So I guess we just have to try again.
No, it was good. I was fine. It was fun.
So next time we just
I just
You wouldn't watch it
oh,
again,
man.
would you?
next time Matt just has to bring over a couple beers, and then
Okay.
we're watching David Lynch.
Yeah.
We're gonna cut this out in post, right? 'Cause
Why
it's
not?
like,
Why? It's great.
You can cut
good.
parts.
Come
It's
on,
not
guys.
wrong to go off topic on a podcast.
Nobody should come here for the plot. They're here for the vibes and the bro.
Is this podcast called The Return of the Living Dead Bros? No, it's called The Horror Bros.
And we're still talking about horror.
I need to show you. Oh man.
What's more horrifying than disorder and
Is-
chaos in your podcast?
I can think of a lot of things. A lot of things.
Name 3.
Corners, stairs, basements, attics. Check that off of the bingo. Woo!
Wow. You'd make a terrible real estate agent.
There are rooms in this building.
Okay, but do you want to talk about titties?
No.
You're not going to talk
no, I
about how
don't.
the house was built on an Indian burial ground. You're going to be like, hey, the corners in this house are really scary.
Yes.
Don't go in the attic.
Yeah.
It has a vibe.
Logan, that's how I sold Fire Walk with Me to you. Of hey, do you want a scary home interior? Watch Fire Walk with Me.
Do you want a terrifying home interior? Do you want to be terrified of doors?
Do you want to be scared of a ceiling fan? Fire Walk with Me.
I didn't exactly get why I was scared of the ceiling fan. You made it up to be like, oh, association.
Were you not? Were you not scared of the ceiling fan?
I mean, I was because I'm scared of like buildings now.
So
But
okay,
not
so
because
are you
of
not
Fire Walk with Me.
are you not entertained?
I was entertained.
Okay, thank you.
I was
He
entertained.
was so mad at me after we watched that movie. Logan was like so mad at me. He's like, you said you would show me a horror movie. That was not a horror movie.
I
And
was
I'm
so
like, excuse me, I showed
angry.
you cinema.
I showed you Paranormal Activity and you didn't appreciate it.
I'm appreciating it more in hindsight now that I've seen more
Thank God.
found footage movies that aren't as good. But I
but
would still rather watch Blair Witch than Paranormal Activity. But that's not important right now. What's important right now is boobies.
Did you say movies or
I
boobies?
said boobies. Titties.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure. My audio kind of cut out in this little Discord call we're in, and it's 50-50 with you. It really could have been either.
That
There
is
was
true.
no context where you couldn't lead into either.
I just want the gif of Steve Harrington saying boobies. Because this is the 80s. It's all about blood and boobies.
And Reaganomics.
But boobies that are totally not made of rubber. And also, they weren't sure what to do about her pubic hair, so Linnea Quigley is, like, perfectly fine with nudity. And so, like, she did it once, like, just, like, pubes out. And they were like, we don't know if we can do this. Try shaving them. And that was worse, because you can see even more. So then they were like, oh, shit, well, what do we do now? And so they had the makeup artist create some kind of thing over her that just makes it look like you blurred it out because you couldn't decide what you were doing there.
That reminds me of something I heard in the movie Alien. At the very end, when Sigourney Weaver is fighting the alien in her underwear. This is such a crazy fact. Like, this bewilders me. But, like, she had, like, full bush at the time. And, like, it was, like, kind of, like, coming out of the underwear a little bit, is what people were saying.
It was the 70s.
But what happened, well, you don't see it in the movie, because they spent a lot of money, because the studio didn't like it, so they spent a lot of money, like, pre-CGI, like, any of that, physically, manually airbrushing out every single frame of pubes.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Bush is one of the best things about 70s cinema. Logan is losing his mind. He's so disgusted.
It's just wake me up when you start talking about like
a movie.
A movie.
We are talking about a movie.
No. See, the thing
this is more connected to the movie than a lot of the other off-topic stuff we got into.
Yeah, it is.
Ed has not seen Alien.
Oh, you get a kick out of it.
I need to. I know. It's an embarrassing fact.
I have seen it.
Well, you were talking to me about The Object, and that's something
Yeah.
that is really heavy in Alien. One, just because of how the alien procreates. But in the movie Aliens, there's an alien queen. And that's, like, also a huge thing. And it's, like, very, like, Ripley is, like, motherhood versus motherhood.
Scary, monstrous, feminine.
You should watch them.
Yeah.
Oh,
I need
yeah.
to watch it. I know.
I had a class, and we spent, like, weeks on that. Even after, like, we had moved on to other movies, we would always come back to Alien and the monstrous feminine and how James Cameron accidentally cooked.
I read that article not having seen Alien, but I've watched I think in that article, this is the Horror and the Monstrous Feminine, written by Barbara Creed. She's a feminist academic critic.
It was assigned for the class.
Yeah, it has a lot of examples from Alien and The Exorcist, and I think maybe some from Carrie as well, about representation of femininity in horror and discussing the abject and the relationship of like portrayals of the feminine to the abject. But back to the movie.
I could get you off topic so quick. I could like mention, I know there's one movie that I could mention that would totally fully derail this. I could hit it. I feel like I'm holding like a pipe bomb in my hand.
Just, let's do a little bit of plot first.
A little bit.
So I think we can introduce.
Okay, but I know a movie that if I mention it, you will talk for 2 hours about it.
We can't do that.
It has to do with objection.
See, this is when we should just start doing.
It has to do with Canada.
Are you mean Crash?
No.
Or the other one? The other one.
It has to do with werewolves.
Don't.
Oh, okay. Oh, I know that movie.
I could say it.
We're gonna get to Ginger Snaps, and it's gonna be such a long episode.
So proud of myself. I've seen that movie.
Yeah, we're totally gonna get to it at some point. But what we need to do right now is introduce Ernie, who's very important.
Not the
Muppet.
Ernie's a whole can of worms.
Not the Muppet.
But possibly named after the Muppet?
Possibly.
Unclear. I mean, I can neither confirm nor deny.
Could be.
Also, can't confirm or deny if he's a Nazi or not, but...
He's coded. He's
not Nazi coded.
I really enjoy Ernie. I just wish he wasn't Nazi coded, because I love that character who is very practical and straightforward and is not super hung up about, I don't know, morals, I guess. Like a MacReady kind of Machiavellian kind of leader who has no time for like bullshit.
True.
I just don't enjoy the connotations of that with him being coded as a Nazi.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, Matt, you had some ideas on.
Yeah, can you list out though specifically like the things that really code him as a Nazi?
So first of all,
I can actually do.
I should let Logan talk.
There's a few things.
I could actually do this one.
The gun is a big
So-
part of it.
His name is German. He speaks German at one point.
The Luger is nuts.
Oh yeah, he does have a Luger, doesn't he? I forgot the name of it, but yeah, it's a Luger. He runs a crematorium. His last name is German. He, like, halfway through the movie, he says it's like raining like eine
He
Soldaten,
says some German
eine-
words at some point. It's raining like I don't remember what he says.
or eine betrunken Soldat or something
Yes,
like that.
yeah, something Soldat.
Soldat.
But he says something in German.
Is the music he's listening to in German as well? The
He's listening to
like
classical
opera
music.
type bit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he also ends up near the end of the movie in the attic. What else?
There's I did not clock this,
Mhm.
but I have heard like other viewers say that there was some like portrait of the Fuhrer somewhere in his
Oh no,
mortuary.
I think he had a picture of Eva Braun.
Or was it in his office maybe?
I think he had a picture of Eva Braun. I was watching a Dead Meat video on Return. of
Oh,
the Dead,
Dead Meat as
and
a
he pointed
video?
out that
I
it
should
was
watch
Eva-
that.
Yeah,
I just don't go on YouTube that much.
I'm just waiting for you guys to get to Tarman.
Yeah, we'll get to him soon. I just wanted to pick apart Ernie first.
Yeah,
I do have some things about Ernie to talk about. I have some things.
yeah. He
And-
also wait. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Well, I mean, because my thing is like, he is very Nazi coded,
Yeah,
but in a way, there is something to be celebrated in that because this movie is very like, oh, you know, all those Nazi scientists who work for NASA, you know, and
Yeah.
so I think that even if it is played for jokes, it's not afraid, I think, to like engage with the fact that like there are Nazis in America.
true.
And in like the 80s and like, you know, for a while post World War II, people are like, great, we beat the Nazis, so we don't even have to think about the Nazis anymore, which was not the case.
Good
And
point.
is increasingly not the case.
And the fact that they were more persecuted back then than they were today.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, because Ernie, like, part of his Nazi codedness is he is masking like crazy because, you know, back then, if you're closer to World War II, you can't be like a Nazi out in the open because you are literally the biggest villain in the world. Like, the biggest villains in movies, in Indiana Jones, in just everything, you're a Nazi. Star Wars, the villains are stormtroopers. Come on.
It's space Nazis.
So, like, everybody knows that the Nazis are bad. Somewhere, I guess, we forgot that. But, like, then Ernie is, like, so trying not to be a Nazi, at least around other people.
Yeah.
And it's,
Yeah.
like, that's where part of, like, the comedy, like, comes from, you know? He's, like, he has kind of weird mannerisms. He's a little bit like Kramer from Seinfeld in a way. Like, he makes, like, faces out of nowhere in reaction to stuff.
He's got some good reactions.
And I think part of that is like because like his
Yeah.
mind is racing because he's like leading a double life in a way.
Yeah, he might have a brain cell.
If someone asked him, "Are you a Nazi?" his answer would be like mumbling and stumbling instead of
Yeah.
no, and then he would get to know.
Yeah. Later in the movie, he also goes to shoot Tina,
It's like he considers it.
Yeah.
and he gets interrupted by a nuclear bomb or something.
Yeah.
That seems like a weirdly like somber
Yeah.
moment, honestly, in the movie. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, we're gonna die. It'd be better to die this way than to get eaten by zombies. And like it's very like, you know, survival movie coded and very like, you know, very like late zombie apocalypse movie coded,
True.
more so than
Yeah.
day one coded. So it feels kind of
It
weird.
accelerates very quickly over the course of the movie.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, where are we at this point in the apocalypse? So I think we're okay. So if
We
we're
are,
if we just got to the mortuary, this is the Rabid Weasels comedy setup. Bert still doesn't want to tell Ernie the truth about what's in the plastic bags, and it falls apart rapidly.
Yeah, like a minute later he reveals it and he just drops an arm out.
Oh yeah, he's an arm.
Like, not even like, oh, let me still hold this so you can see that it's a human hand. No, just fully like lets go, and the hand jumps out and grabs Ernie.
Let it flop like a fish.
Yeah.
Also very Reanimator. But eventually, like they do, like Ernie is like, okay, I will cremate these remains, and in my totally not suspicious crematorium. I don't know what a mortuary looks like. I don't know if that's normal. Do they always have those? I don't know. But the slight problem with that is that the characters don't realize is that the smoke is green,
Right.
like it's polluted or something, and then we start hearing the music.
Yeah, when you hear that title music, you're like, oh, the last time we heard that music, a bunch of zombies got made.
Yeah, that's when the gas leaked out of the first canister, and then we got all that.
Yeah, it's a really subtle sequence. If you're not watching very hard, you may not pick up on the fact that that's where the next batch of zombies come from. All the shots of the camera traveling under the ground, following the trickling of acid rain. If you're not like really into the movie, if you don't really look into it
You're
the way
not
that
locked
us
in.
real champs, film experts look at it, you might not have realized that more zombies are going to be in the movie, and the living dead are, in fact,
They're returning?
The titular living dead.
Holy shit!
Somehow, the living dead returned.
Logan, the living dead are returning.
They returned.
I'm still here. Well, I've returned.
And then it starts raining, and of course it burns your skin.
Yep, which is bad.
People start running and screaming. It's awesome. And then we get the great "Do you want a party?"
I do.
Yeah.
I do want to party.
Skeleton with eyeballs pops out of the ground. Jaw just like drops. He's like, "Do you want a party?"
I want to party.
Now I want a party.
I would love to party.
If it's this kind of party.
I would indeed love to party. Now the killing and the dying part, I'm not entirely cool with, but the partying with great music,
Yeah.
I'm up for that.
It's party time.
And Trash gets killed in exactly the way she was describing.
Wow, she's awesome.
Not 20 minutes earlier.
She knew. She's so smart.
She's also just like stumbling for no reason. Female character who can't do basic things, just being dramatic, like, oh no, guys, wait for me. Oh no, a bunch of old men
she
are
was
biting
so-
off my clothes.
She was so goated for the rest of the movie too, and then all of a sudden it's like, I'm a girl.
She's goated for the whole movie except for that one sequence when she's just
Yep.
like just falling apart.
Well, to be fair, the worst way possible to
Yeah.
die was happening.
Oh no. See, that's how we just gotta talk about deaths. Like, oh, I would really hate if like I just got knocked out quickly, painlessly. Shortest death possible. That'd be
Oh my
awful.
God. I would hate to be stepped on by a 50-foot woman. Oh, no.
I would hate to be recording as I walk down into a basement, and then I turn the
You
corner,
would.
and then I see something that the camera doesn't see, and I scream, and the camera falls to the floor.
The camera's
and,
still
you just
recording.
The camera's still recording, and in addition, there's a cool audio thing going on where my camera's recording
You're
audio.
screaming.
But no, there's like a person upstairs who's screaming.
A shadow,
and you
perhaps.
only hear it from the audio, and you see a shot.
Yeah.
This is not specifically the end of Blair Witch Project.
You would hate that.
I would
That
hate
seems
that.
like a really great budget choice for your death.
100%.
That probably
yeah.
saves a lot of money.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe
Well-
I'll go that way.
Yeah. No, save the budget.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
In this economy?
You're getting killed by zombies in this economy?
In this economy,
Honestly, they were probably just hungry. Who am I to judge them for that?
you're getting your
Mhm.
skull
But
eaten?
anyway, I neglected to mention a few minutes ago when Tina went off to look for Freddy, and then she walks off, does her girl walk over to Unita, which is seemingly abandoned, and she walks into the first floor, and things are obviously in disarray, and she's like, Freddy.
She just thinks Freddy is still getting used to the job, so he kind of like made a mess of the place.
He's just a little klutzy.
But like, I feel like your alarm bells should be like going off of like, there's obviously no one here. No one's replying to me. Everything's in disarray. Man, something must have happened here.
Well, don't forget, her character is la la la, I'm a girl.
She's still like, oh no, Freddy.
but I do applaud her choice to go into this scary basement.
Mm-hmm.
Just, honestly, for two reasons. Number one, because, obviously, and number two, because it gives us Tarman, which is actually scary.
Tarman is kind of badass.
Not badass,
I think
just
it's-
scary. This thing is like melting goo.
I think he's creative.
It's even cooler, I think, than it is scary, though.
He's awesome.
Now, I want to say I did not read up on my fun facts, y'all. But there were multiple special effects people on this project, and so
Yeah.
the first one got fired, and then a new one was hired. And Tarman was one of the designs that was kind of like left in between of he was partially finished but not entirely. So the new guy was like, well, okay, how am I gonna like make this work? And I think the final result is fabulous. I
Mhm.
love the like he's like not entirely like jointed correctly.
Yeah.
Of course, like covered in goo, which is awesome. Yeah, he's great.
I like how, like, he, like, his whole face melts off. It's the first thing in the movie.
Yeah.
But then by the time you see him again, he looks pretty healthy, you know? He doesn't look very gaunt for having his entire face melted off. He looks, like, robust. He looks, he's got some pounds on him. I think he's doing well.
He just
What a glow
like
up.
poured some mud on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has some thoughts in that little skull of his to start using tools to open the closet that Tina is hiding in.
Mm-hmm.
My God,
Yeah.
they're using tools.
I didn't know they knew how to do that.
He's a velociraptor opening doors.
Clever girl. So this is when the rest of the punks run in, and they hear Tina screaming, so they run down to the basement, and they meet Tarman. And he's like, brains!
Live brains.
War brains is, I think, what he says.
I love how they stand there, they throw a bucket at him, then he attacks Suicide, because Suicide is standing in front, just chomp on the noggin. And then the rest of them are like, oh, fuck, and run off.
Yeah, I get it. No
And
reason to
props
be
to
like...
Spider for, like, closing the door behind him.
Yeah.
Where are we next? This is where my notes stopped. Okay, so back over
Well,
at...
from there, the movie kind of goes all over the place, right?
Yeah, because a couple of the punks run over to the mortuary. A couple of them stay in...
I was gonna
Unida.
head back to the mortuary because we gotta call the paramedics for Frank and Freddie because they're really not looking so good
Right.
and they're not feeling so good. So they're like, yeah, I think we should call 911 now. Hey, dear sir or madam, we have a poisoning. Meanwhile, they're just like sitting on the couch, like wailing in pain.
I wish that they had put them on the phone. Like, I feel like they should have done a bit where someone on the phone's like, can they describe their symptoms? And they're like, oh, sure. And they put them on the phone. And then on the phone, they're like, oh. And like, they're like, oh, wow, that sounds pretty bad.
0 out of 5 would not recommend.
Now, how would you rate your pain on a scale of 1 to 10? And like, they stop screaming for a second.
-5.
They stop screaming for a second to say, 1 is high pain or low pain, and they go 1 is low pain, and then he goes 10.
That would
But
be
like
perfect.
a moment of lucidity between screaming. He's like, well, what's the scale on?
Yeah, like... Well, what's number 9? What's the difference between 9 and 10?
Say 8. Say 8.
Say 8. That's a Brian Regan bit.
Come on. Okay, Matt knows Brian Regan. Matt should know the reference.
Could you give me an example of a 9?
Yeah.
Childbirth or Burning Alive?
Yeah.
The Burning Alive is 10, and then Childbirth is 9. So he goes with the 8, right?
Actually, no. Burning Alive would kind of be lower because at a certain point your nerves fry up.
Well, I'm trying to think of what Brian Regan said in the bit.
Oh, okay, sorry. I've gotten a 2nd degree burn. It
ain't nice.
Frustrating and, painful and stuff. 3rd degree burn, yeah. Don't grab on, like, hot pieces of metal. Don't do it.
Well, there goes my evening. I was gonna be grabbing hot pieces of metal all night.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Now I should go do something. Like, what am I gonna do tonight now?
One of Logan's movie pet peeves, because it comes up every year when we watch Elf, is the fact that, in a 3rd degree burn, your nerves are fried. So
Yes, 3rd degree burns are not super painful because your nerves have fried.
But,
This
up
character is a
until then, it's
freaking
painful.
Firefighter. This character is a firefighter, and he doesn't know that third-degree burns are
Well,
not
because he was
the
written
most
by a
painful.
screenwriter who doesn't know what they're talking about.
Who didn't do
But I
their
should
best.
imagine that, like when you're receiving the burn, it's probably pretty fucking painful up until the point it becomes third degree.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
still...
and when you have second-degree burns, they hurt, and then it turns into a third-degree burn. You're like, oh, I'm fine.
But that's not important right now. What's important is that the paramedics are arriving to check up on Frank and Freddy. And they're receiving some strange readings.
They're dead. Well, they're not dead. We're not saying that they're dead.
We're not
They
saying
have
you're
no
dead,
pulse, no
but
breathing,
your
no
temperature
nothing.
is 70, your blood pressure is 0.
It's almost as if they're living dead.
Oh.
Or like
Something like
reanimated or something.
Wrong movie.
I love that the paramedics are like, I would love to see a sketch where it's like one of those like undead coming into a doctor's office, not emergency, but like a regular doctor's appointment. And the doctor takes all the readings, and we, the audience, see the readings, and that like, oh, your temperature is 70 degrees. And then the doctor just looks at the person and goes, well, you're talking, so obviously you're fine.
Classic.
Yep.
But anyway, these are paramedics, and they're actually explaining this, to Frank and Freddy, and they're like, well, it looks like you're dead. Not we're not saying you're dead, but
No.
we're confused.
You're not technically alive.
And of course, Frank and Freddy are just wailing.
But Miracle Max could fix him up.
Yeah. What happens next? Isn't that we start
Then
getting
the
the horde
paramedics-
outside?
Well, then they go out.
They go
and
outside, they
eaten.
get eaten.
Okay, so that's another thing. Those zombies are really convenient in where they show up. Like, those paramedics make it into the mortuary just fine, and then the zombies form an impenetrable barrier. But right before that, all of the zombies are out of the ground and eating people.
And there's also a bit when Ernie walks outside to like survey the land, and he's fine.
And yeah,
Like,
and then
he
he
sees a
finds...
dead body, but he's
But they
fine.
like build it up like, oh, the zombies are all
Yeah.
over the place. He should be in super like danger, but he doesn't even get jump scared or anything. Like, he just goes back
He
in. And
sees
he's like,
one
all right.
paramedic getting eaten by one zombie. I think that's all that they see.
Oh, this is after the fact. Yeah.
And like, yeah, you're right. There should be hundreds of zombies, but no, they all went over here. He's staying behind to get dessert, and just one of them.
But they didn't go out on the street or anything. They went.
They're
just
gone. They're
around,
not
I guess.
nowhere near. You
The
can't see
parking
them.
lot.
Yeah.
But the zombie does go into the car and talk into the radio. Send more paramedics.
Man, these are delicious. Let's get some more.
And that's just what they do.
They send more paramedics.
See, it's like
Yeah.
Olive Garden. It's the unlimited breadsticks.
Unlimited paramedics and police.
Unlimited salad. You don't pay for
Wow.
anything here.
You need a pest control. When you're here, you're fucked.
Either you're eating or being eaten.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
There's two types of people in this world.
There's sheep and there's sharks. You ever go to business school?
No.
No, I didn't.
Nope.
I'm a film major. Do you think I know anything about business?
Business school is not real school. You spend 4 years. I have a friend who did like a business minor, and he was like, "These are the easiest classes ever." You go in, and they're like, "All right, profit is
Making
what
money?
you make back from what you sold minus what you bought for it." And you do that for 4 years, and that's business school.
Man,
What are we doing in film school?
am I actually the person doing something in college?
You might be, actually. You might
What
be.
are you doing?
I'm doing engineering.
Ooh, that's nice.
I'm
What a
taking linear
nerd.
algebra over the
Wow.
summer for fun and also for my degree, but for fun.
He has an academic field? What a dick.
When Lockheed comes calling, what's your number?
No, actually, when Aston Martin or Mercedes or Red Bull, all these racing teams,
McLaren.
this is my phone number. Call me.
No. I mean, what's the pay amount that Lockheed Martin has to knock on your door and say,
No,
hey,
No,
Hey there.
I'm doing this for cars and cars only. I want
come
to
on,
go.
you gotta have a number.
Yeah, my number is Number 33.
919.
Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen.
Logan has
I
one
want
love and one love only, and that is cars.
Yep.
And sometimes he also likes movies sometimes.
And found footage movies. And, like, pasta. And, working on a fourth one. I'll get back to you guys.
You know, it's okay to have 3 loves.
It's important to find hobbies.
Pasta's a hobby.
I like pasta too.
You know what also is pretty swell? This movie.
Where are we? I don't even know where we're at this
I'm
point.
killing you guys with the segues here.
This is where my notes started to end.
All the zombies disappeared and then came back for the paramedics.
This is me, like, last night we were watching it, and I'm like, I was starting to take notes, and I'm like, actually, never mind. Whatever.
Okay, well, hold on. Then, zombie.
Police. Oh, Freddy. We locked Freddy in the chapel.
With Frank and Tina.
Like, okay, so Freddy's getting all the attention because Tina has now arrived.
Yeah.
So Tina's like, "Oh, Freddy,
Again
what did
with
you
Tina
do to
being
him?" And
crazy.
Freddy's like, "Ah!" Meanwhile, Frank is like 2 feet away, just like wriggling on the ground, "Ah!" And everyone ignores him.
He's like, "Oh my!" They're all like, "Oh my God, Freddy, are you okay?"
The camera just passes
He's got it
over
tough.
him.
He's got it tough in this movie. He has a
And
bad
then they
time.
lock him in the chapel.
The wee chapel of the dawn.
Yep, and then Freddy goes full brains. And they throw acid on him.
Yes.
Yeah, he flips quick though.
He flips real quick.
Yeah.
He really flips quick. Whereas meanwhile, Frank holds on for a long time.
He does. He's got a will.
I think
to
it's because he's
live.
got more weight on him.
Frank
now.
just like
He's
tiptoes
heavier.
out of the chapel while everyone's dealing with Freddy.
Freddy's a lightweight. Don't party with Freddy. They say Freddy can party. He can't even hold his zombification serum.
He goes crazy like after like one whiff.
He greens out instantly on zombie gas.
He succumbs to the cravings like so fast. Meanwhile, Frank is the like, put me out of my misery.
He's like, forgive me, and it's like an emotional moment when he like puts himself in the crematorium.
Mhm.
No, Frank.
That's like the big tone switch of the movie, because that's also like right before I think like the Ernie maybe about to put her out of her misery.
Yeah.
Which is very like old Western movie, because like there's the whole like you have to kill her before the Indians get her.
Yeah.
You know? And like you see that in a lot of old Westerns, and he's doing that with a Luger, and there's zombies. But like if they've never seen zombies before, there's not that societal stigma of it's better to die this way. Yeah, that's why it feels like so late apocalypse.
Like they go through all the phases of a zombie like eras. Like you have beginning zombie era, middle zombie era. You have like, oh, we've all gotten used to zombies being here, etc., etc.
Very accelerated pace, yeah.
Yeah.
They go from 28 days to 28 weeks so fast.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah.
And police have set up a perimeter.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think of where we're going.
Police have set up a perimeter. I think, kind of.
They set up a perimeter, and then they're like, "We don't know what's going on in there."
And then they get swarmed and all die.
Sounds like the military or the government. I think before that is when Bert and Spider go out to the police car because they think, oh, it's the classic. Ernie's like, hey, what if we go hide up in the attic? And Spider's like, fuck that. Bert's like, oh wait, there's still like a running car out there. We could kind of like just like run super fast and get it, because everything is actually Night of the Living Dead.
True.
If you think about it. They go out there, they get in the car safely, but they get swarmed pretty quickly. They're driving around, they keep running into zombies. There is now a horde on the street, but they make it over to Unita, and somehow they run into a fence or something.
There's zombies in front of them, and they crash into a garage.
Something like that.
I love that Unita is where they go.
Because we only have 3 locations in this movie.
That saves so much money, probably, for everyone.
But it's a good set.
Is everything in this movie on a stage? Well, actually, maybe Unita was a real building, but they definitely built the fake opening for the cemetery. And I think the cemetery is definitely on a soundstage. I don't think you ever see the sky when they're in the cemetery.
I want to say I heard that the graveyard was faked.
I don't...
Well, you guys know a brilliant low-budget movie, right?
Yeah, that's not specific enough.
Paranormal Activity.
Okay. 1 second while I go downstairs and go take a shot because you said it.
He calls the cops, and
They get
like
swarmed.
as they get swarmed, and then he's like, you know, maybe, just maybe, I should
Maybe I should have
call...
like wait. Oh, there's a number right here on the canister. Maybe that was there for a reason.
Funny mistake.
I love that that's how the military figures out. Like, literally nothing gets out to them
Until someone
until
actually
he calls the specific number.
Yeah.
Is this an idiot plot? Maybe just a bit.
Just a bit. Well, I like that, like, the solution is the thing they should have done in the first place. Somehow it doesn't get out until it's time to do that one thing.
14
you know?
years ago.
Amazing.
I think they should have done it like 14 years ago.
Maybe.
And now we finally bring back up our Colonel Glover. Yeah, we talked about Colonel Glover.
Oh, yeah.
We did.
Briefly. He's only in the movie briefly.
Yeah, something about his scenes just remind me so much of Airplane. I think it's just like the scene when they go find the pilot at his home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just reminds me so much of that. And also his wife in the background acting her ass off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so Airplane style.
Yeah.
Like, without any lines.
And the line she
Oh, yeah.
does have is interrupted by, "Shut up, Ethel."
Ethel, you're a potato pancake.
I'm not even going to touch that. I know what that's
It
from.
was in the Twilight Zone. And I
Oh,
just
it's
thought
in
it
the
was
Twilight.
so
Okay,
funny.
never mind. No, it's cool.
What did
I
you
thought it was
think?
from something else. I thought it was from a certain.
This is from a TV show from like the 50s. Like the insults you can do when you're not cursing or like insulting someone that are so creative are so much funnier.
On this episode of Horror Bros, Logan goes to an anti-Semitic place.
What?
Oh no.
Wait a second. What?
Wait, what?
What, have you never had potato pancakes? Latkes?
No, I have. No, I thought it was from another.
Latkes are great.
No.
Good.
I thought it was from another TV show that has a couple of movies that I have seen one of that I did not understand and I hated that you love, Ed, and it was directed by a certain guy named David Lynch.
There were no potato pancakes in Twin Peaks, but there were pies and there were coffee.
Pies and coffee.
That's why
Special Agent Cooper's favorite.
I am trying to get out of this episode alive, so I'm struggling.
It's horror. What did you expect?
No. I'm not scared of horror. I'm scared of you guys.
You should be.
Ha ha ha! The horrors! You wanted to be scared.
But
you
this is
wanted
not a fun scare. This is like oh god, they're going to talk about Twin Peaks for 30 minutes.
You know, I'm just going to talk about it every episode until you, like, don't hate it anymore. Or I'll just, like, handcuff you to a chair and make you watch it.
I'm going to handcuff you to a chair and make you watch, like, found footage movies.
You just have to make yourself like it now.
Nope. I'm going to die on this hill.
I'm just trying to convince him so hard.
Anyway, the
so
U.S. Army...
Colonel Glover sends the order to nuke
Louisville, Kentucky, which we didn't need anyway because their football team sucks.
R.I.P. Louisville.
I do not like Louisville.
Man, there's less than 4,000 dead. Yeah, the rain will wash it all away. Yeah, it'll all be cleaned up by the time the president comes tomorrow.
Yeah, people say that the rain is like stinging their skin. Nope, we fine.
Pollution, what's that? Don't worry about it.
It's fine.
Army. Am I right?
You know.
Just give UNITA like a $50,000 bailout and that solves it all.
That's how it works. That's how problems get solved, is more money.
But I don't think UNITA exists anymore. I think it's in the down, nuked.
There's got to be a parent corporation.
So that was one location. Yeah, no, there's definitely a parent location.
Come on.
Is this a chain?
It's a shipping warehouse. It's in shipping. You don't have a single shipping warehouse. You're bad at shipping if you have one warehouse, because you can only take places to one place.
Do you think I know how shipping works?
You guys know that you can ship your pants.
Do you think I was thinking? I told y'all you're not supposed to be thinking. I was not thinking.
That's a good point.
In this universe, UNITA is Amazon.
Yeah.
And they have like every shipping warehouse.
Yep. And they ship medical supplies everywhere.
You need a package? Call UNITA.
R.I.P. UNITA Louisville. That was weird. Anyway,
Comes up at the next corporate retreat.
So yeah, Louisville gone.
wait. So are we doing the next movie first, or are we doing the what you watched recently?
I think
or are we doing Letterboxd?
we do. Okay, I thought we took out Letterboxd. So we're doing.
Yeah.
What if we
Let's
watch?
go look at Letterboxd and see if there's any funny
Ooh.
reviews.
No,
on
I
there.
said we're taking that out.
No.
I thought we took that out.
Matt's in
I
favor.
like Letterboxd. I think it's funny.
Matt, no. Matt, no.
Fun and funny.
No.
Yes.
I don't have anything to do until like a while from now. I can keep going.
One of us has work. It's not me.
I'll put together a comedy set right here. I can do 20 minutes. I can do 30 if you need it.
We have enough
When can I
time
go
for
on?
Letterboxd. Letterboxd comedy is important.
We've
sure,
been
for
going
sure.
for 2 hours now, and I thought we agreed that we weren't doing Letterboxd.
I don't know about that.
Well, you see, me and Matt were talking, and Matt says that we should do it, and I would like to do it, so you're outvoted.
He's not a part of the Horror Bros.
Oh.
Excuse me? Are you disrespecting my bro?
You said at the beginning of the episode
He's
I
not
was
a core
temporary
member.
bro.
When you're here, you're family.
I have 1/3 voting power just for this episode.
No!
You're outvoted.
Anyway, so I just want to credit Letterboxd user Matthew
Who's
for
that?
his hilarious review of Somehow the Living Dead Returned.
I forgot that was my review. So when I said that joke earlier in the episode, you gotta cut that out.
Oh,
You
Because
just
I'm stupid and I
forgot.
forgot. I'm stupid.
No!
There's also Elsie Dreyfus who had a review of, well, we didn't need Louisville anyway.
We really don't. They have a bad football team.
Oh, also the objectively funniest review on Letterboxd for this movie by Letterboxd user Joel. It is disgraceful that they had a character take off all her clothes just so she'd be naked for the rest of the movie, and if anyone can point me to any other movies that do this so I can call them out as well, it would be greatly appreciated. Thanks.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, that's all my liked reviews. See, that was quick and painless.
Do you guys ever get kind of sick of Letterboxd reviews where someone will like take the time to write a review and they'll just write, "It's so good," or like "Best movie ever"?
You know what frustrates me is when someone makes a review that has content to the extent that I have to press it and like look at more. If your Letterboxd review
Exactly.
is longer,
I don't want to read.
I appreciate real reviews, but real reviews should not expand the character limit on the short view screen.
I don't want to click. That's too much effort. I don't want to read a paragraph. If I would like go on JSTOR, and I love JSTOR, but that's not Letterboxd.
I
want a quippy one-liner.
I don't read reviews on Letterboxd. I read like my friends' reviews and I read my own reviews because I love myself. That's one thing I'll talk about forever is myself.
Oh, God.
I love me.
Look, but like seriously, like you had like a couple reviews that were like genuinely so good that it made me think that I should actually start doing real reviews instead of shit posts. I still shit post, believe me, but I was like, wait, maybe I should like, I don't know, genuinely compliment something for once.
All right, now what we've seen recently. Who wants to go first?
Does it have to be a horror movie?
Not necessarily.
Anything.
I'm a pretty diverse film watcher. I think the last movie I watched really was The Princess Bride, but before that, I watched Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yep, it is.
For like, oh, I love that movie.
It has been on the front page of my Letterboxd for like days now. With Ed, I get a new movie every single day, and I just see Pee-wee on the other side. Like I see like a random, really weird 80s horror movie.
How many people do you just not follow a lot of people
I
on
follow
Letterboxd?
2 people, and they're right next to me on video cameras.
Wow.
See,
I'm
I just
honored.
follow so many people that it does actually change every day because I just know a lot of film nerds, and also Ian.
Nerd.
Ian's Letterboxd is unbeatable.
I watched Ready or Not 2019 with Samara Weaving. Props to her. That's all I got. That's actually the only movie I've watched, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, I was out of town last week, so I haven't had as many like movies for the last week. But I watched Phantasm from 1979.
Yes.
I think I was just like,
Why are there Jawas in that movie?
there are like actual Jawas.
But why shouldn't there be? It's awesome.
I think that was one that like needs to be watched with an audience, because I was watching it by myself and I was like not feeling it and I started like zoning out. So
You can't zone out because the Jawas come out of nowhere. So then you'll be like, what is happening?
So that's one that I should probably like revisit in a room of people who like it, so that I can appreciate it better. I also rewatched Return to the Living Dead 3 just because I felt like it, and you know, it's kind of related, and also it's got a hot goth girl, so I mean.
Now, earlier you said the hot goth girl wasn't entirely why you bought it. What percentage do you think she contributed? I'll be disappointed if you say anything lower than 90.
I mean, like 80%.
Really?
Okay, maybe 90.
I know you.
But also, I mean, I did watch it on Tubi before I bought it. So I was like, okay, Hot Goth Girl is most of this, but also it's kind of related to my like work in progress script right now. But it's also solid and has a really hot goth girl. So what are we doing next time, Logan?
Oh, finally. Okay, I can wake up now. Are you all ready for this?
He just deactivated. He shut off. He went on screensaver.
It was like watching like a sleeper agent reactivation.
Yeah.
You like fully stiffened up. You went
I
up
woke
fully.
up. I am back. You know why? Because we are watching a found footage movie. Maybe not Matt. I don't know if we're
Who's
gonna.
we?
I don't know who we're. Well, at least me and Ed. If Matt, I'm gonna go ahead and invite you for this one because I actually have a movie where I can like defend found footage.
I like found footage. I love found footage.
He's gonna graduate from like part-time bro to full-time bro.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. We would have to like change our schedule.
If we just like.
Like the schedule
I don't
would
know.
totally.
I mean, it's summer,
totally
so
change.
like it's like not that I'm doing that much.
I have a class, but it shouldn't be that bad. Anyway, today or whenever we do our next episode,
Whenever it is, the next couple of weeks or whatever.
I am actually suggesting a movie that I have not seen before.
Oh, okay.
I
Really?
Fun.
am going to my watch list, and we're headed to the year 2020 with Host, a found footage movie about a seance that is performed via Zoom. And that is going to terrify me because I hate Zoom. I hate it.
I'm gonna have so many like Zoom PTSD flashbacks.
Yep, I am scaring everybody.
You know, the only thing I would have worse PTSD with is Google Meet. So at least it's
oh
not
my god,
Google
not
Meet.
Google Meets. If it was
Google Meet,
Meet,
I have way more trauma with than Zoom, actually.
I hate Google Meet. And it's only like 58 minutes, so we don't have to
Yay.
suffer long.
Yeah.
Awesome!
And that
I love short movies.
it is available on Tubi. So if you want to, go watch that. Tubi. I love it.
I applaud you for branching out a little bit.
Another found footage movie?
Well, it's a movie you haven't seen, you know? It's cool.
It's a movie I haven't seen that's a found footage movie. I know.
We're trying something new, yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah, okay. I'm tired.
I am exhausted.
I partied so hard last night.
I'm feeling good.
We partied.
I'm gonna eat more cookie dough.
Good for you.
Matt is living his best life.
No, I literally, okay, yesterday I was at the beach. And the 2 days before that, I was also at the beach. And I was at a level of intoxication that can only be described as legendary.
I think we're going to
Because I
cut
was
this
with
in
my
post.
cousins. There was a wedding. It was nuts. It was awesome.
Good for him. Good for him.
We're
I
going
was
to
at
cut
work.
this in post.
Oh, no, yeah, definitely.
Anyway, that's it for the Horror Bros.
That's it for the Horror Bros today. Happy 4th of July and God bless America.
God bless America.
Caw-caw! That's how an eagle sounds.
Yeah.
See you next time and stay spooky.
Can you mix some Apache helicopters over that?
I should go find some.
Get a like fighter jet flyover in there too.
Hell yeah.
Peace out.